Every year, Americans spend billions of dollars on a wide range of products. But with so many different models of everything, how do you know if you're getting the best value, or even what's promised in the ads?
From tennis shoes to kitchen cabinets to SUVs, there's one place that puts the products we use to the ultimate test and lets us in on the results. Join me as we go behind closed doors of the company that created the Buyer's Bible, Consumer Reports.
It's one of the most popular magazines in the country. Millions of us read it, but few of us know how it works. To find out, we went to Yonkers, New York. This is where Consumer Reports is published by Consumers Union, a nonprofit group funded almost entirely by subscriptions. 500 employees work here year-round, testing just about anything any of us would ever buy. At first glance, it appears to be the home of slightly mad scientists.
We have mission-driven, ingenious, smart people taking products that consumers buy and use every day and trying to figure out which ones work, which ones don't, in all sorts of creative fashions.
How do you guarantee impartiality?
We're unbiased, we have our own laboratories, no commercial interest, we take no free samples, no advertising. Everything is done with only one interest in mind, and that's the consumer.
Consumers Union has been testing products and publishing the results since 1936. In the early days, the idea of an organization testing products to see if they lived up to their advertising upset manufacturers, who called them communists. But the group stuck to its guns, claiming the public had a right to know if a product actually worked, a tradition that continues to this day. Consumers Union has more than 50 labs where a wide range of merchandise is put through a series of rigorous tests. You might call them product torture chambers. From a giant luggage tumbler known as the 800-pound gorilla to Johnny Walker, a device that simulates running on a treadmill, the engineers find a way that's unique to each product to see how well it will hold up once it leaves the store.
It's like being a kid in a candy store, because the things that I'm able to do as an engineer here, I can't do somewhere else. I get to play with things all the time at work.
They do what we don't have the time, money, or patience to do.
We were doing a project on kitchen cabinets and countertops, and we needed to build a machine that would open and close drawers 30,000 times. And this is what we came up with.
This device is giving cabinet drawers and hinges 10 years of use in a few weeks' time. Every product is subjected to the same repetitive test so that everything has a level playing field. Each year, Consumers Union tests about 2,000 new products, everything from safety helmets for our heads to running shoes for our feet. But the core group is what they call sweaty palms purchases: electronics, cars, and major appliances. When buying a dishwasher, for example, we can't bring our dirty dishes to the store to test every model, so the researchers here do it for us.
Every machine gets the same number of dishes, including 60 pieces of silverware.
They've made a science out of soiling dishes. Each plate is smeared in a precise pattern with the same recipe of leftovers.
There's some cream corn. We have chili, mashed potatoes, spaghettis. What sticks the most is usually the spinach. It's like the toughest to come out.
And just like we might do at home, once the washers are loaded, the dirty dishes are left to stand overnight. When they run the dishwashers the next morning, they're not only looking for how clean the dishes come out, they're also judging the machine's energy efficiency, noise level, and design. Just down the hall, a team of professional tasters spend their days evaluating everything from ice cream to today's course.
How many kinds of peanut butter are you tasting today?
We have 12 samples every day. It's a blind test. We never know what we're tasting.
So through the little door here, you just get a little jar of peanut butter and you taste it, but you don't necessarily eat it, right?
We expectorate the sample, which is another word for spit it out.
But the job's not a piece of cake. The tasters go through extensive training to teach them how to distinguish different flavors, additives, and ingredients. And there's something different on the menu every day.
Is it a cool job?
It's wonderful.
What's the worst thing they ever made you test, though?
Egg substitutes with dehydrated vegetables.
Okay, I guess you wouldn't have been eating that for a little while, would you?
No.
Whether Consumer Reports is testing eggs or electronics, they need lots of them to get a reliable sampling. Their warehouse is filled with hundreds of products under review.
We spend over $20 million a year to go out into the marketplace and buy these products anonymously with cash and bring them back here and test them.
All of the buying is done by a team of 159 undercover shoppers in 30 states. For the first time, Consumers Union allowed me to interview one of their shoppers on camera. We agreed not to reveal his identity.
Why can't we show your face?
It's very important that we maintain our anonymity such that anytime we walk into a store, we're not given preferential treatment by any vendor or given a better item than one that a regular consumer would find.
Sometimes you have to buy amazing quantities of something. You have to be pretty creative.
So not only quantity, it's sometimes the item itself, like when you're buying a snowblower in the middle of July, or why you have a shopping cart full of condoms. Some very strange questions come to mind of people standing around you.
Behind this closed door is where it all comes together. Here, the magazine's editorial staff compiles the test data as they prepare the next issue of Consumer Reports.
You come out with test results and you see that one company is just really going to be unhappy. Who has to take that call from that manufacturer?
I get that call.
You get that call?
Yes. We invite them here, we let them look at the product that we tested, talk to the engineers and the technicians, let them look at the test data. We have nothing to hide. And so they go away realizing that they got an honest evaluation and they make changes as a result of it.
So after they're done banging, screening, and washing, what happens to the products that are tested here? 3 times a year, they're sold in silent auctions open to employees only. Next up, I go behind the wheel and out on the track, where Consumer Reports puts every car on the market to the ultimate test.
Behind Closed Doors will continue in a moment here on A&E. Behind Closed Doors with Joan Lunden continues here on A&E.
Of all the products rated by Consumer Reports magazine, only one category gets an entire issue devoted to it every year: cars.
Located on 327 acres in East Haddam, Connecticut, is the Consumers Union Auto Test Facility. Every year, more than 40 different brand new vehicles are pushed to their limits in tests designed to give the buying public as much information as possible.
When test drivers here put a car through its paces, they do what we all wish we could do before signing on the dotted line. They monitor a car for 6 months, putting it through every conceivable driving condition. And that's not all. Drivers live with the vehicles round the clock. You might say they get a company car, it just happens to be a different one every night.
We don't want to get used to having window switches on this side, indicators on that side, and various controls in a certain place, and the ride and the noise. We want to evaluate each car as if it's new.
When they return to work each morning, the drivers document their impressions in a logbook that stays with the car. But the most important work is done on specially designed tracks, created to see how vehicles stack up against each other in the toughest driving situations. David Champion has been the director of automobile testing for 5 years. You name the car, he's tested it. To find out just what kind of challenges the cars are put through, I got in the driver's seat of a sport utility vehicle. On this trail, we would clamber over rocks, wade through heavy mud, and ford a stream designed to simulate flash flood conditions.
Looks like we're going into some
This is
fairly deep water.
This is our off-road course where we put all four-wheel drive vehicles like SUVs. You just want to see what they'll do if they perform well off-road, because that's what they're sold for.
Next, we went to Rock Hill, where they test the climbing ability of four-wheel drive vehicles. This specially designed track is made up of 300 tons of boulders stacked at a precise 10-degree grade.
Every truck goes up exactly the same rocks, and that's how we see which ones are better than the others.
So what I'm driving is definitely going to come up. Is that the
We hope so.
Don't say that.
What you want to do is take it nice and slowly, just sort of glide over the rocks.
The first vehicle I would take on the rocks was a Toyota Tacoma.
Keep the throttle nice and smooth. And what we're looking for here is how well the suspension keeps the wheels in contact with the ground, and how well the four-wheel drive system keeps power going to the wheels that you want it to.
It's scary when you can't see over the front.
It was unnerving to drive without being able to see ahead of me, but we finally got to the top.
There we go, we made it. This track.
Then we tried Rock Hill in a Ford Explorer Sport Track.
Say walk up.
Walk up?
Well, maybe not walk up.
All right, so then here, let me
Go back a bit.
Wow, I haven't even gotten to the steepest part.
This isn't quite so easy. It sort of spins and bounces a little bit.
This is a lot harder, David.
It is.
I see. All right, well, you can certainly see the difference when you get out of one and into another.
No.
Okay.
We're stuck.
Okay, here we go.
And once it's moving, just try and keep the momentum going.
Okay.
There we go. There we go. We got it. We're going to make it this time.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Now, was that me or was that the car?
No, that's the car. We build the track to make sure we can see the differences between the car. You drove the Toyota up very easily. The Explorer here is a little bit more difficult. But the Explorer is a better road vehicle. It's nicer on the road. It's nice to drive in everyday traffic. But if you want four-wheel drive, go for the Toyota.
The goal is to lay out the facts to let the consumer choose the vehicle that best suits them. My next assignment was all about speed.
Watch out, Jeff Gordon.
I would be driving a Subaru sedan on a circular track called a skid pad. The object here is to see how fast a car can corner and still stay on the track.
So just keep your foot down. Can you actually feel the tires beginning to slide underneath the steering wheel?
Yeah, I can.
Yep, so you're getting towards the limit. And this car is quite nicely balanced in that you can actually go a little bit faster.
You're kidding.
No. You're almost up to 40 there.
I'm usually very brave.
Although 40 miles an hour may not sound fast, on these curves, it took all my strength just to keep the car on the track.
We're looking at how well the car sort of drifts. At the limit, what does it do? You want a car that does things normally, not a car that will bite you and fly off the road.
The next test would be even more challenging and dangerous. It's called the Avoidance Maneuver Test. The worst nightmare for any driver is swerving to miss a car or a child that darts out into the road. They test for that very possibility on this straightaway course. On my first run, I would get this BMW 530 up to a speed of 40 miles per hour, then try to avoid hitting the cones.
I did it.
Very good.
I've driven avoidance courses before, and handling this BMW was pretty easy at 40. But my next run required me to drive the car at 50 miles per hour, and that made a huge difference.
Whoa. All right, so it's a little harder at 50.
Yeah. And we test every car on this circuit, and we see how well they handle. And some of the cars are more easy to get through the course at a higher speed. So therefore, you could maybe avoid the child that ran out and get back into the lane safely.
Not every car gets through as easily as the BMW. As this footage illustrates, some of the sport utility vehicles tested tipped up onto 2 wheels while going through the avoidance course, causing Consumer Reports to issue safety warnings.
You guys could really get hurt in some of these tests. I mean, you take risk here.
We do take every precaution when we're doing the short course avoidance maneuver test on SUVs and four-wheel drive pickups. We put these like training wheels on so the car won't tip over. But yes, there are a lot of risks that we do take.
Can you even drive a car without being a critic?
No. Even in the best car that we've got, the BMW 530i, the cup holders, they're useless. We love cars. We just want to tell you which car is the best to buy. So we go through all these tests backwards and forwards, and we really drive them to the end to make sure that when we write in Consumer Reports that this is the best car, it is the best car in our opinion.
But not every company is satisfied with the published test results, and in some cases, they take it to court.
In 65 years, we've never settled on a lawsuit, we've never lost a lawsuit from a manufacturer because the courts are telling us what our consumers already know. Consumer Reports gives you unbiased, independent, accurate information for making choices.
From cars to coffee makers, they test thousands of items a year. So the next time you pick up the magazine, you'll know how they rate all those products behind closed doors at Consumer Reports.
I'd like to extend my personal thanks to all those who helped us gain unprecedented access to make this show possible. Please join us next time, and once again, we go behind closed doors. For A&E, I'm Joan Lunden.